Hey, what is up guys, Reaperkid here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a giant gold farm for your survival world. But I'm going to be in creative just to speed things up. Nevertheless, this is still a long tutorial, so let's get to it. So to get started, you're going to need a chest, some hoppers, some building blocks. I'm using glass and quartz in this example, obsidian, a bunch of wooden trapdoors, lots of water, and a flint and steel. So just a quick note before we begin, this whole farm can actually be built underneath the ground, but for this tutorial I'm just going to go ahead and put it on top. So we're going to start off with a chest with 3 hoppers behind it pointing towards the chest, and then each of those hoppers having another hopper pointing to it from the side and on the other side as well. Okay, so next up we grab our glass and we're going to start building a ring around these hoppers. Now once we get to the end of this ring, then we're going to build another one on top of that, and so on, up about to 30 layers. Now that's going to be to make sure that the zombie pigmen do in fact die when they hit the hoppers at the bottom. Now as I'm towering up, I just need to clarify that this tower I'm building is a simulation of a 3x3 by 30 deep hole in the ground. Now at the bottom we don't necessarily need to have a chest, we can have some kind of item elevator which would push the items to the top, making the whole idea of this entire farm being underground much more plausible. Okay, so rather than spending a lot of time in the video building this tower, I'm just going to do a small jump cut where I'm finished. Okay, so we're done with the tower. We can see this as ground level, and I will start off by building a ring around the hole. And now we're going to build 9 in each direction out from the center. So we're going to have a 23 by 23 block at the end, which is 9 on each side of the 5 by 5. So now we have our 23 by 23 base platform with a 3 by 3 hole in the middle, and we can now start building the walls at the sides. So what we want to do is go to each of the corners and stack 4 blocks on top of each other like this. What you want to do next is connect the 2 middle blocks of this pillar to the opposing pillar's 2 middle blocks. Note that we can leave out the bottom row, as we will deal with that in another step. We can now continue to do this on all 4 sides. Now that that's done, we can deal with that bottom row we left out. We're going to go 1 block inward and create a row all the way around. There would be obviously no side effects to actually filling in the bottom row. I just thought it would be easier for visual keys to not fill it in for this tutorial. Moving on to the obsidian, we're going to take 1 block, place it on top of here, and then continue a line all the way along to the next. And we can now copy this action on all 4 sides. Okay, so this is the largest outermost of the 4 portals that we are going to build. We have the 23 horizontal blocks, we need 23 vertically, so now we're going to go to the corner. Note that there's already one in place, so we're going to go up 22 more blocks. Okay, now that that's done, we can go to the other corner and go up another 22 blocks. And now we simply connect the 2 with another row of obsidian. I hope you guys are beginning to see the pattern, but you're gonna have to do this on all 4 sides. So what you want to do for the smaller frames is do it exactly as the outside one, except the width is going to be different. The height is still going to be 23, but the width will be 6 less than the one outside of it, meaning there's a 2 buffer between each of the portals. Now this 2 block buffer is going to apply for all the sides of each of the squares. So each square has to have 2 blocks between it and the next square. You know you've done it correctly if your smallest obsidian ring matches the outside border of the ring around the hole in the ground. We will now begin to tower up. As I said earlier, this will still go up all the way. Just because the width is smaller doesn't mean the height is also going to be smaller. We're going to go all the way to the top, same as the outside ring. Now, due to the way the mob AI works in the game, the zombie pigmen won't just walk out of the portal, even though they're going to stand there. So we have to somehow fool them into walking off. That's where these trapdoors come in handy. So we're going to start placing down some trapdoors to make them think it's solid blocks. Okay, so as we're placing the doors, we're going to get to the corner. I'm going to switch sides and put this one in the other corner, rather than following the same line, and each of the sequential corners are going to look the same, meaning all sides are going to have equal amounts of trapdoors. If we turn around, we see the outside of a portal frame, and we're going to lay that with the trapdoors same as the inside. Now, one portal frame further from the outside, we're going to follow this exact same pattern and add trapdoors to both. Now remember, neither the hole in the middle nor the outside ring will need any trapdoors, as there will be water, and this is enough motivation for a pigman to walk off. Speaking of water, let's add it. Go to the corner and start placing water all around. As you can see, if you place the water correctly, the water floods all the way onto the edge of the 3x3 but does not go down it. This means that the water is capable of pushing the pigman all the way into the 3x3 hole. So last, but far from least, we need to light the portals. I would recommend lighting them outwards, diagonally, as this offers the smallest chance of having to go through a portal to get to another. As you can see, the pigmen willingly walk into the water, and as they get pushed to the center, they will fall down and die. Here is the view from the top. This is what happens when they fall. As you can see, the items are quickly starting to stack up in the chest. Well, that brings us to the end of this tutorial. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a comment if you didn't. Feel free to subscribe to my channel anytime. My Facebook and Twitter links are down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Reaper Kid and I am out. I'll see you guys next time.